Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about when the enemy says, I don't want to argue, or I didn't want to start an argument. Everything that's being addressed and brought to the forefront is not always an argument. In their world, conflict, confrontation is something that must be avoided at all times. As long as you don't say something, in their world, they can pretend it doesn't exist. Meaning, they'll walk all around the elephant in the room as if it's non-existent. You know what I'm saying? What brought me to the subject today was, this is just a common statement that is said all the time. You know, I don't care what kind of relationship you're in. Whether you're dealing with some homeboys, your parents, you know, your spouses. I don't want to start an argument. The thing is, with an argument is kind of like a spiritual conflict, and it's usually the frustration energy with no results. But you can take that same energy, organize it, and now it's just called a debate. It's like being in a boxing ring, you know what I'm saying? You can fight on the street unorganized, or you can figure out how to master your energy, take it in the ring, organized, and use it properly. It's no different with communication and the way they say, oh, I didn't want to start an argument, or I'm just going to keep my mouth shut so that way we don't argue. Every time I say something, we argue. Everything is not an argument. Things have to be dealt with. Things have to be addressed. But if you are dealing with certain beings and entities and you're constantly having to readdress the same thing, unfortunately, we're the fucking problem for keep addressing the issue. Because we shouldn't have addressed it more than what our spirit told us to address it to when we was dealing with them in that situation. Our spirit always gives us the time. Our spirit always gives a time frame as far as when we should be using it. So if they're not using it appropriately and properly, then you already know it's going to be something that's going to be used in an unhealthy manner. So for me, a lot of things that you have to do is address it up front. You know what I'm saying? Everything isn't gonna be sweet, soft, and candy, and fluffies, and cherries all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times I have to say things or address certain things. And I say have to because my spirit just won't allow me to let it skate. Even if it's like a friendly conversation, like I'll just have to make a pointer. Like one of my buddies that I game with occasionally, he want to figure out what he want to do. Now the thing with him is he's paralyzed in a wheelchair, but his son is really good at basketball and football. But football, he's lighting it up right now. He talks about him all the time. So I started to tell him while he was talking about him, and you know, I'm bragging about him, just giving his son his accolades, which he should. You know what I'm saying? So my thing with him is like, you love your son, right? You enjoy what he's doing, right? You support him, right? Won't you just be his manager? I'm not big into sports and pushing all that stuff. I will play the game. I will get out on the court and play basketball. But as far as like being in it, I'm not in it. But as far as giving somebody some ideas, as far as something that can pull them out of a space and help them in a better direction, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I tell him like, why don't you help him? You know what I'm saying? You could be his manager. You can start doing his marketing for him. This is your son, so it shouldn't even feel like work. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't feel like work because this is your son. This is what you really want to do. But that was me addressing something that I knew was extremely hard for him to hear and to kind of process, because I'm pretty sure some thoughts that he already had going through his spirit world. You know, maybe not as far as being a manager and doing these things, but as far as supporting his son. And I made it my business to make sure that I put that information out there, whether he wanted to hear it or not. And he would never said it was an argument. I'm gonna get back to that part, but this was as far as about addressing things and it not always being an argument. Sometimes you just have to learn how to master your energy or control your energy so that way you can direct it properly. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to use all of your energy. Sometimes you just got to put a little bit of spice on it when you send it over there. You don't have to put the whole pound on it. So for him, I didn't have to put the whole pound of spice on it. I just put a little bit of spice on it. Just enough for him to be like, yeah, let me get something to drink with that. You know what I'm saying? But if I put too little, he wouldn't have needed no drink. If I put too much, he would have been done with the food and would have been needing some, I don't like saying milk. I call it baby calf food. I am trying to change the concept of this shit that they got up here. But that was something that was extremely difficult for him to hear, and it wasn't that easy for me to put out there, but I knew it was something that needed to be addressed. Then you have the other situations with your partners and spouses or your moms and dads or somebody where it's like, say your mom or dad is like, oh, well, I hate coming to talk to you because every time I say something to you, you start an argument back with me, and I'm just trying to tell you because I know better. In all actuality, they're just trying to enforce their opinions, perspectives, their thoughts down your throat, and you're just giving them a little bit of pushback. You know, maybe it's honesty or maybe it's something you really don't want to do, but that's not always an argument. And that's the thing, like an argument is a spiritual fight. That's what I take arguments as, is spiritual fights. Now when you change the word around and you put it with the system, then we just call it a debate. You know what I'm saying? It's controlled energy, but they're both getting their points out there on the table. Now, whether it's going across and it's sticking doesn't really matter, but the points are out there, and that's what really matters, you know what I'm saying? So we just have to be aware that everything is not an argument, you know what I'm saying? Some things are just difficult conversations, and then some things are just debates, you know what I'm saying? And then some things it's just, motherfuckers just don't want to intake in the information. Sometimes I may just not want to intake your bullshit. You may not want to intake what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that everything is an argument when you're communicating and it's that energy being spewed out there. I don't give a damn if it's a boss. That's half the reason why we don't say shit to bosses at jobs, is because we feel like, oh, it may start an argument, may get fired. It's not about the argument. Change the concept, remove the word argument. You know what I'm saying? And put another word in place of it. And I guarantee you're going to get a better perspective and a concept of it. You know what I'm saying? But this is one of them subjects that it's like, it's not too complex. You know, it's just replacing a word with another word and understanding that the argument is more so of a spiritual fight. And a lot of people and a lot of oppositions and enemies is going to say, oh, I don't want to start an argument or fight. But really, they just want to control the subject. They want to control the situation at hand. So really, when they're saying that, they're trying to use reverse psychology, and they actually want to stir your energy up and to create chaos in the inside. You know what I'm saying? But apparently on this one, it's a lot going on around me y'all don't see, and the battery is dying. So I'm probably do a part 2 to this one, but I ain't gonna run it up too long. It's just something quick. I was out here meditating, decided to double down on it, and my other battery is in my car. That is a hike away. You know what I'm saying? But I do got some other things I have to run around and do. But I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, commenting, showing love and support. I had somebody hack into my stuff. I almost forgot. And they were responding to some comments with some Jesus statements. Y'all already know me, so y'all already know I'm not a religious person. I don't have nothing to get Jesus. But that's not my flow over here. So if y'all getting these comments from me, that shit is a hack. I just went through and rechanged my password and stuff. But that was not me talking about the Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I leave that up to my Christian brothers and sisters to do their thing. You know what I'm saying? But tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.